He said, crude oil prices, as you remember, they went down from 147 to 50. They've come back up now. And I said to him on the phone, I almost called his name. I said to him on the phone, it's back up to about between $70 and $80 a barrel. I said, where is it going? These people have a way of being sarcastic, and he said in a very sarcastic manner, he said, no, Chaplain, the price of crude oil is not $80 a barrel, it's $50 a barrel. How do you refute a man who is one of them? You don't just outright blurt out and say something to him. I said, would you please explain?
Let me stop you. It was actually in the main. Let me stop you. It was in yesterday's news that crude oil is actually lower, but we're paying $3 a gallon on average, so that they're scamming us. Go ahead.
Yeah, and the way he explained it is, he said, Chaplain, crude oil prices are still exactly where I told you they were going to go. He said, I told you they were going to $50 a barrel. He said, that's in relation. Now, folks, please try to think in terms of the elite here. He said that is in terms of the purchasing power of the dollar at the time that I told you it was going to happen. He said 6 months ago the purchasing power of the dollar was $50 a barrel. That's what they were getting. But he said yet it takes Saudi Arabia $80 a barrel to maintain their infrastructure. He said they're losing money every day, and it's all, here's a prediction. Folks, watch it. You saw Dubai go down. It was over the Thanksgiving holidays. They said $80 billion worth of securities. They said we can't pay on them. Here's the prediction. You are going to see one OPEC oil-producing country after the other default on their obligations.
Stay there.
To the World Bank.
Got a break. Fourth hour coming up, 70 seconds away. All right, Lindsey Williams talking to this former top 5 oil company CEO, executive, giving us staggeringly accurate information in the past. He is our guest. Your calls are coming up at the 20 after, 1-800-259-9231, specifically for Lindsey Williams. I've got some other news I'm going to be smattering into this hour on other subjects as well. French husbands may be tagged, BBC. Men seen as likely to be violent towards their wives could be forced to wear an electronic tag under a law being debated by the French Parliament. See, guilty until proven innocent. Everyone must be tagged. Men who've never even been in trouble. Just England, you have to have cameras in your home when you have a new child the first few months to make sure you're not an abuser. Going back to Lindsey Williams. See, we're talking about OPEC country after OPEC country going belly up. We see Western European countries going belly up. And it even comes out in the mainstream news, the big central banks that own the oil companies are engineering this by design. They're not even hiding it. And Gordon Brown says out of this crisis, Herman von Rompuy just said it again yesterday, head of the EU, they will set up world government. Paul Watson has an article about this today at prisonplanet.com. Continue, sir, breaking down the predictions.
This is all planned. Every bit of it has already been decided behind closed doors. You are not going to change it. You may as well adjust your lifestyle according to it. And the only thing that is going to alter this is divine intervention, which I don't see at this point. But if it did, it'd probably be our only hope. Now, I'm giving you some signs today. I hope you're writing these down. Please take a pencil and piece of paper and write this one down. Here is the first one that this gentleman gave me. Watch crude oil prices, and you will know the progression of the elite. Now, let me try to explain. Because he had just sarcastically said to me, no, Chaplain, the price of crude oil is not $80 a barrel, it's $50 a barrel. And I said, please try to explain. Alex, you know, I am so glad that you have had Dr. Stan Monteith on your program. And I'm so glad that he verified to you that he actually talked with this individual back about 5 to 6 years ago before I was no longer allowed to give out any names.
No, I know. He does that. I mean, Dr. Monteith really ferrets things. He's always checking up on me to make sure. But, yes, I've talked to him. He's talked to the guy. I know his name. But Lindsey, we know this guy's a high-powered guy, and we know he's telling you this, and we know it's turned out accurate in the past. Now, let's continue here. Dollar loses 30 to 50 next 12 months. A whole bunch of big banks in the Middle East go under. OPEC countries go under. Did he give you the order of this? I mean, read your notes to us.
Yes, here it is. Watch crude oil. Now, this is it. This is a sign that was given to me. And you watch it. And please understand the depth of this. Watch crude oil prices, and you will know the progression of the elite. And here's the way he explained it. He said, yes, we are going to allow the OPEC oil-producing countries of the world to have in purchasing power related to the deterioration of the American dollar. Please notice my wording. I'm doing it very carefully, trying to, so I get it in exactly like he said it. Watch the deterioration of the dollar, and they will allow the OPEC oil-producing countries of the world to have $50 in purchasing power as related to the American dollar 6 months ago when he told me that they were going to keep it at $50 a barrel. And then he said to me, Chaplain, whether the world likes it or not, gasoline is still priced in dollars. Now, Alex, you will remember that they tried to put together a basket of currencies and to begin to trade oil in. They were not successful in accomplishing it. And this gentleman said to me, he said, Chaplain, whether they like it or not, oil is still priced in dollars. And he said, we are going to give the OPEC oil-producing countries of the world the purchasing power of $50. Now, that means then, if you see the price of crude oil go to $70 or $80 a barrel, you know the progression of the deterioration of the American dollar in accordance with what the elite are doing at that particular time.
Well, of course, as gold and oil go up, you know they're killing the dollar.
Yes, you see gold go up. Gold didn't go up in price. No, the thing that went down in value was the purchasing power of the dollar.
All right, stay there. Got to break again. Let's go into Israel, not Hamas, is responsible. What does that mean? Afghanistan, Pakistan, and Yemen is a distraction. Everything he told you on the other side, we're going to race through it and then take phone calls so callers can get their questions in and get different perspectives from you from different angles. Lindsey Williams is our guest. We'll also tell you about his videos and books coming up. Lindsey Williams is our guest. This is key information. We're going over what this high-level elitist told him the globalists are planning in the next 12 months into early 2011, but starting now. Okay, Lindsey, let's continue now. Did he say specifically what countries in the OPEC nations were going to go down first?
He did not. He merely said, watch it. And you're going to see the same thing happen that you saw happen with Dubai, because they will not be able to meet their obligations merely because they are receiving less than what is necessary for them to take care of their infrastructure.
And Venezuela's almost going bankrupt, and you said 2 years ago they were going to do this to really cause them problems. Continue.
Well, I have to relate back to this, Alex, but bear with me here for a second. You'll remember back about a year and a half ago when I was on your show, and at the same time, you had on that particular day a man who was going to give you a market report. And I made the statement that the price of crude oil was going down to $50 a barrel. He didn't say anything. And then whenever I said that the price of, that the reason they were going to do this, I'd been told, was to bankrupt the OPEC oil-producing countries of the world. I guess he couldn't hold himself any longer, and he snickered and chuckled over the air and said, Chaplain, that can't be. Well, it took place exactly as this man had told me it was going to happen.
Yeah, let's be specific. When it was $50 a barrel, he said it would go to $150 in the next year. That happened. Then you said they're going to drive it down to $50. That he told you to bankrupt the OPEC nations, and now that's happening.
Yes, it's happening exactly like he said. Now he said, watch the price of gasoline at the gas pump. And, folks, this is what you need to prepare for the next 12 months' time, is because related to the depreciation of the American dollar, which they already have it planned to withdraw the value of the American dollar's purchasing power by 30 to 50%, more like 50%, that means that if the OPEC oil-producing countries still receive only $50 a barrel for their oil and purchasing power of the American dollar, you are going to be paying at the gas pump more than likely 50% more than what you're paying right now within the next 12 months' time.
All right, continuing. What's going on with Israel? What did he tell you about war?
I was amazed. I'm going to go into something even more startling than that first, if I may, Alex. And you stop me if I say something that you know might be a little bit too much. I was amazed at this man. And he knew it all the time. He said Israel sent their Mossad into other countries outside of Israel. They had forged passports. Everything was secretive. and they went after some leaders of Hamas and assassinated them. And when this man was telling me this, I was sitting here almost with my mouth open saying, wait a minute, I didn't ask him this. I said, you knew about this before it happened. He did. He knew every bit of this was going to happen. Listen, folks, I say this for this reason. I'm not going to go into this anymore because this could really get me in trouble. But every single thing that you are hearing this individual talk about.
Lindsey, I understand that. Listen, no, go ahead and spill it all. I mean, tell us. What did he say about the Israeli hit squads? That's in the news now. What did he say?
Yeah, well, Israel did it. And they did it with forged passports from the Mossad, their secretive organization, and they went in and got their Hamas person.